Hello everyone. This screencast is going to tell you how to do part 2 of the week 1 lab for Access. The idea is to build a simple database to track IT support calls at a small company. We're going to pretend like we're working in an IT department and we need to make up a database that will be able to keep track of problems that people might have with their technology, like computers, cell phones, desk telephones, that kind of thing. In order to get started doing this, we need to go to step 1, create a new blank database. So we'll go in, open Access. First thing you're going to see right there is a blank database. Double click that. Now you see what we call a data sheet view. This section here is called a data sheet. This is the ribbon. It's the file button. Save. This is where all of your objects will come up, like your queries and your tables and that kind of thing. The first thing the assignment says to do is name the database using this convention. So we are going to name the database by saving it. COP 208 underscore IT support underscore nWrite dot ACCDB. Once we save it that way, we need to enable the content, which enables Access to perform the little tricks and tasks that it does. Now we've created our table because it made us do that before we could save it. Create a new table called users, and in this table we're going to add these 6 fields. To add a field, we need to go to the design view, which is taken care of by going up here, clicking on view, going to design view. This is where we name our fields. This is where we enter the type of data that we need to fulfill that field. And here's where we kind of describe what it is. So the fields it wants us to add is ID, auto number, and it wants it to be the primary key. This key means that it is the primary key. What that means is that every record that goes into the database will be individual. And the one field that is going to signify that it is its own field is the ID number. Auto number just means that it's going to populate with one more than the previous one. So every time you add a new record, you are going to have a new auto number on the next one. So that's the second one's going to be number 2, the third one's going to be number 3, the fourth one's going to be number 4, and so on. Now, the next field it needs to add is first name. It wants it in text and 12 characters long. So you need to tell Access, I want the field name, the next field name, to be first name. Text. And the way you tell it how many characters can go in is under the field size here. 11. Let's check to make sure that number's right. Oh, it wanted it as 12. No problem. We go back in, highlight the field, change field size to 12. Then we name the other fields. Last name, text, 20 characters, because last names could probably be longer than first names. That's fine. Change this to 20 characters. Next item we need to add for a field is department. And to use the type of information that's going to go in there, we'll put a lookup wizard. What that means is it'll create a drop-down box for your users that are entering records into the data sheet that they can only choose certain items to go into this field. In this case, it's going to be IT, accounting, shipping, HR, and sales. Let's add the field, department, data type. This is where you would use this drop-down box, and it shows you that you can use a lookup wizard. This lookup wizard is the assignment tells us I will type in the values that I want. So we'll put that there and then click next. This is where we put in the values that we want to see in our drop-down box, which would be IT, accounting, shipping, HR, and sales. Those would be the only options that the user has to put in for that field. Since that's all we're going to do, we hit finish. Next field that they want to enter in is phone extension. It wants it to be text and 5 characters long. Phone extension, text, and 5 characters long. Finally, we do email. It wants to be text, and this one they want is 96 characters because people can have a really long email address at times. And that's it. Those are all the fields that we need on our table for this time around. Now it wants us to switch to the datasheet view, which is done by going to View, clicking Datasheet View. Oh, we have to save the table first. Now I'm going to enter in the first name into my users. It wants us to add 5 users to the system. So the first one I'll put in me, Neil, right? I'm going to say I'm in the sales department. Oop, there we go. Phone extension is 12345. Email address would be N, right? And we're going to name our business abc.com. One nifty trick is that in order to expand something, you slide right along the headers, the names of your fields, until it turns into that little cross there. Then you can double click that and it'll open up the field as wide as you need it for your widest item in the field. Now I'm going to add 4 other people, and you are going to see them in just a second. And there you go. Now you can see that I added in other users so that we have a variety of them. What's the next thing on the list? Create a new table called tickets. Go back and we create it like we did the old table, or the one we already used. Create table, let's enter in some things before we actually name it. In the table, switch to design view, and we're going to add these following fields. We've already done that once, so we can do it again. ID. So we go into design view, save table as tickets. Okay. ID was the first one, short name. Characters. Category lookup wizard, and we're going to type in the values again. Remember, we use the lookup wizard from the drop down box. Type in the values that we want. Let's go back to the assignment. We want network, hardware, software, and phone. Network, hardware, software, phone. Again, just like the last one, we've typed these in there so that when somebody is entering in text into the data sheet, they can only enter in those options because those are the only categories that we're going to log in the IT support database. description. That's the name of the next field. Now note, it says here it wants it in the data type of memo. So we can change it here to memo. Finally, we want user. We're going to use the lookup wizard. User. What we're going to do is refer to the list from another table. So lookup wizard. I want to lookup field to get value. I want the lookup field to get values from another table or query. We wanted to get it from users. We only want to include the last name. Next. We don't need to sort them. Next. These are the people that we can take our options from. Oh, we have two people with the same last name. Maybe we should do it by first name. There we go. Those will be the options that will come up for the person that's entering in the call into the IT support database. We might as well call it user, and that's all we need to do. Finish. Table must be saved before relations can save now. Yes. What it's done is now there's a relationship between the two. So when we fill in the ticket user, it will only give us the option of the 5 users that we have in our user table, which is why we have to put in several different ones so we can see how it works. Finally, open date, close date. We're going to use data type is going to be date and time. Close date. Closed date. Date and time. This way only dates can be put into these fields. Switch back to the datasheet view, and now we're going to add in 10 datasheet view. Save the table. These are each of the fields that we put in, and now we're going to add names to it. I'll be right back and you will see the finished product. And here it is. This is what the final table is going to look like. So if you have any questions, actually before I go, the close date here, be sure to leave at least 1 or 2 of these open. You'll see why when we go to query the database during the next lab. Thank you, and I hope this helps. Please let me know. Give me a call at 407-230-3729 or email at wright.neal@gmail.com. Thanks. Bye.